Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, um, one of the things that I want to talk about here is that it isn't really the first time when somebody got canceled for saying something really heinous of that sort. I mean, I had mentioned not just the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel, but it was also Bill Maher. But as far as that goes, a lot of people that are about my age would probably remember this one athlete. I think his name was John Rocker, and he was signed to the New York Mets at one point, and he was making all of these uh, bigoted comments about New York City in some ways. At one point, was trashing everything, and then I remember it was on 2020 back in the day, and then that reporter John Stossel had put his 2 cents about it, that when it came to the comments that John Rocker had made, that not only was insensitive, but it was something that, in a way, the diversity of New York, what made New York special, as far as that goes. And then I remember that he got, I think he got released from his contract and with the Mets, and then I think he had gone back to the minor leagues and was never really seen or heard from ever again at that point because of the fact that he had said something bad about New York City. You know, even though I never gone to New York City, but I probably knew some people that had gone to New York City. In the fact that, you know, one of my favorite shows is Law and Order, is like the Law and Order franchise, and then of course one of my favorite movies was Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and then or I could also say maybe even like Royal Tenenbaums, even though technically it's not New York, but New York area. And then of course How I Met Your Mother was take place in New York, as well as the show Friends takes place in New York, and then even a way All in the Family also takes place in New York, and then in a way, um, I'm trying to remember. Was it Ryan Adams? I think that was his name, Ryan Adams. He was the guy um, that uh, did the song "New York, New York," and it was recorded like uh, just about a few days before the attacks. You know, and that song got really popular right around the end of '01, start of '02, I think. Not exactly certain. Somewhere around that time frame. And that was like another one. And then, if I could also remember any other uh, TV shows, then of course there's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is another one, and maybe like these other shows that also take place in New York. But in a way, it's like visiting New York is probably on my bucket list of that sort. Especially going to Cat's Deli. If anybody remembers Cat's Deli. But in a way, it's just the other thing there, because there's also that whole cross country rivalry. Because after all, I'm from LA, and there are people that are from New York that don't like have that friendly rivalry between us, you know. But yet we come together as far as that goes. Because if I remember, another song that also gotten popular right after the attacks was that whole Mary J. Blige song, Family Affair. I think that's what it was. I'm trying to remember. And that was another one because she was from New York. And then you see Dr. Dre is there in that, in one of those swanky clubs in Manhattan and all. So that was one of the things there. And in a way, it's not just like New York, but also Chicago, DC, Boston, Dallas, Miami, or Seattle, Portland, any of the other big cities that should not be trifled with. So, anyways, guess that's probably it. So, talk to you guys later.